Okay, we're on YouTube. Good afternoon. This is Bexar County Court at Law number 6 in the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court plea and motion to revoke probation docket on Thursday afternoon, the 22nd of July at approximately 2:15 p.m. The cases that we have set on our docket today for plea are cause number 632-657, State of Texas versus Malik Peterson, represented by Mr. William Brooks. Cause number 639-392, State of Texas versus David Flores, represented by Mr. Jonathan Perez. Cause 663414, State of Texas versus Raul Alanis, represented by Ms. Sunny Middleton. Cause 652913 and 664908, State of Texas versus McLeod Glide, represented by Mr. Brian O'Donnell. Cause 660412 and 660414, State of Texas versus Jacob Moya, represented by Mr. Brian O'Donnell. Cause 659694 and 659693, State of Texas versus Jimmy Rodriguez, represented by Mr. William Simmons. Cause 654498 and 654499, State of Texas versus Ryan Bolton, represented by Mr. Austin Hagee. Cause 648747, State of Texas versus Lorraine Valenzuela, represented by Mr. Frank Sandoval. Cause 655858, State of Texas versus Joe Villarreal, represented by Mr. Rene Vela. And 2 Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion plea and probation agreements. Cause 640683, State of Texas versus David Quintana, represented by Mr. Tim Roundtree. Cause 639434, State of Texas versus Yesenia Flores Rivero, represented by Mr. Chadrick Henderson. We have 2 motions to revoke probation. Cause 652488, State of Texas versus Christopher Hernandez, represented by Mr. Chris Simpkins. And cause 600429, State of Texas versus Daniel Baskin, represented by Mr. Cornelius Cox. Mr. Cox, did you need to go in a breakout room with your client at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pat, could you arrange that?
Of course, Your Honor. Mr. Baskin, you should go into room 1.
Are they gone? Okay. At this time, we're going to go ahead and take up one of our 2 motions to revoke probation to try to clear our probation officer out of here. This is cause number 652488, State of Texas versus Christopher Hernandez, represented by Mr. Chris Simpkins. Mr. Simpkins, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
Great. Mr. Simpkins and Mr. Hernandez, the first document I need you to identify is a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference that purports to have each of your signatures on it. In fact, Mr. Hernandez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Simpkins, as attorney for Mr. Hernandez, is this also your signature on this?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has the right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Simpkins, also is this your signature on it as attorney for Mr. Hernandez?
It is, Judge.
This is a motion to revoke community supervision. My understanding is it is uncontested. Would that be accurate, Mr. Simpkins?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Representing the state is Assistant Criminal District Attorney, Ms. Alexis O'Connor. Representing the Bexar County CSPD is Ms. Susan Gross, who has now been previously sworn. Mr. Hernandez, in cause 652488 on the motion to revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
He would plead true to the programs, and as to the marijuana, we'd like to provide some context on that.
What I normally do is accept plea to be either true or not true with an explanation, and it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. We'll do true with an explanation, Judge.
All right, fair enough. And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Hernandez's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hernandez has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on June 21st of 2021. He has paid $721 towards his fees and has a balance of $25. He is current at this time. He's completed 12 of his 48 hours of community service. He's currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 6 times per day with no reported issues at this time. He has had 1 positive drug test for marijuana. He's completed the Victim Impact Panel and the DWI intervention programs. And we have no proof of completion of the CATSNP program. This is his second violation report, second motion to revoke. His last motion to revoke was addressed on June 17th of 2021. As for a criminal history, he has a prior driving while intoxicated, and his officer is recommending that you add a CATS intensive outpatient program within 7 days.
And back on his being on blow on the Smart Start Mobile 6 times a day, how long has he been blowing 6 times a day?
I would have to look that up, or you can ask the defendant, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Hernandez, do you recall when I cranked you up to 6 blows from 4?
Yes, sir. It was about 30 days ago, and I've completed all my community service too. I donated.
Okay. Where did you do your community service at?
I donated to the firefighters department and to another one before that.
Think you can stop smoking dope with your buddies?
Yes, sir.
If I give you the UA right now, you're going to be hot?
Yes, sir. But
All right.
I think it's just because I have it in my system still.
Truthfulness is an unusual commodity we don't get very often around here, so we appreciate your candor. Now, that being said, 31 days from today, are you going to be hot?
I will not. I'll drink water all day, try my hardest. But I don't know. I'm fat.
You just gotta stay away from green leafy substances. That's all I need you to do. We'll all be good.
I know my level won't be the same as it is
Okay, there's
going down.
31 days, Mr. Hernandez. There should be no level at all. All your marijuana should be gone if you stop smoking today. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to stop smoking marijuana today?
Of course, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good answer. Okay, defense, what are your requests?
We request that you continue him on. He's just enrolled in the CATSNP. He's doing the 6 blows a day. He's actually done a lot towards his class and making progress. As you've heard, you're not gonna have any issues with marijuana. So these issues have come up, but he's addressed them, and I sincerely believe that will make progress and you will not see him again.
And where are we on the basic CATSNP course? Did he finish that one?
He started it on the 12th, I believe.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Hernandez. I apologize. Go ahead.
I've got 4 classes out the way. I'm over there with Dean at CATSNP, and I'm doing a sign for him to pay it forward. And I only have 4 classes left.
Okay. State recommendation.
Along with probation, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Hernandez, in clause 652-488, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation. Or you continued on probation with all prior requirements and no sanction at this time, although I have the authority to put you in jail for 30 days to get your attention. Will that be necessary, sir?
No, sir.
All right, all good. I'm going to alter and amend your conditions, adding Community Alliance for Traffic Safety Intensive Outpatient. I want him to go ahead and finish the basic course. He's only got 3 or 4 more classes. So he finishes the original CATSNP, and then I want him starting, or they can even go at the same time, intensive outpatient. Susan, I need you to, if he's gone 30 days at Smart Start Mobile at 6 blows a day without missing any blows and with no high brax for alcohol, crank him back down to 4.
Judge, I just looked and he skipped 2 tests.
Oh, well, crank him back down to 4 anyway. We're going to be nice to Mr. Hernandez today because he promised he's not going to smoke dope anymore. Isn't that right, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good plan. Put him on weekly UAs. That way we can watch where the nanogram count goes on his marijuana up or down. And I think that takes care of it. What did I miss, Susan?
That should be it, Your Honor.
Oh yeah, substantial compliance. If he hadn't registered for anything, I think maybe he already has. Within 30 days, he needs to be registered for everything. All right.
Yes, I think
Mr. Simpkins, go ahead.
I think he may have to complete the intervention before he can start the intensive outpatient because I think one of them's 4 hours and one of them's 2 hours a week, and they may be on the same day.
Okay, just whatever his probation officer is happy with.
Absolutely, Judge.
It's not gonna bother me if his entire day is spent doing outpatient drug stuff. That's gonna be fine with me. But I think our big hurdle is gonna be getting him to stop smoking marijuana. I mean, I'm here, he's giving me the right answers, but it's a lot easier to say it.
Yeah, we've gone over it, and he's sincere, Judge.
All right, all good. That's all I got. Anybody, anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Hernandez?
Nothing
Judge,
further.
Go ahead, Sue.
if I may, Mr. Hernandez, you will be receiving an email with your amended conditions. They're having issues with the system today, so you may not get them today. And Mr. Fonseca is getting ready to go on vacation here in a
Am
couple
I
of hours.
allowed to request another probation officer?
No. There's only certain officers that handle Judge Christian's cases, and Mr. Fonseca is the only one for that area.
At this point in time, what kind of problem are you having? Is he just too efficient and you don't get away with anything? What are you complaining about?
No, he's a good officer, and I appreciate your judgment.
All right. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Hernandez?
Nothing further, Judge.
Good luck, Mr. Hernandez. Do good. Thank you, Mr. Simpkins.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge.
All right, is Cornelius back or are they still out?
I'm back, Judge. I need to just talk to either prosecutor or somebody from the probation
Okay,
department.
Mr. Cox, you and I've had this conversation numerous times before. You got to get ready for these cases before you show up on the day of trial, okay? It would be really
That's-
helpful.
Okay.
That being stated, do we have an extra prosecutor, Alexis?
Or
I-
this
Guillermo with us
will be
today?
fine.
Can
I'm here,
Guillermo
Your-
chat with him?
Guillermo, or
Yes.
should be on here. So I'll put him and Mr. Cox go back to the same room and I'll put Guillermo in there.
Okay, thank you.
And now we're going into pleas. This is going to be the batting order. Cause 632-657, State of Texas versus Malik M. Peterson. Cause 663-414, State of Texas versus Raul A. Alanis. Cause 652-913, State of Texas versus McLeod G. Glide. Cause number 659-694 and 659-693 to be TIC. State of Texas versus Jimmy Rodriguez. Cause number 654-498 with cause 654-499 to be TIC. State of Texas versus Ryan Bolton. And last in this batch, cause 648-747, State of Texas versus Lorraine Valenzuela. And we're good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I need you to identify signatures on a couple of documents for me. The first document for each of you is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Mr. Peterson, is this your signature on this document, sir?
He's
If the
in here,
microphone's
Judge.
turned off, you can turn it on at this time. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
He's in here. He's just muted, Judge.
Okay, I'm looking for Mr. Peterson on the screen here.
There
He
is,
was
Judge.
here, Your Honor.
Mr. Peterson, can you hear me?
I think he's working on the Zoom.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is this your signature on this consent to plea by video conference document?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks, sir. And Mr. Brooks, as attorney for Mr. Peterson, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Alanis, is this your signature on this consent document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Middleton, as attorney for Mr. Alanis, is this also your signature?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Glah, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. O'Donnell, is this your signature as attorney for Mr. Glah?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I pronouncing Mr. Glah's name correctly? I just kind of took a shot at it.
That'll be fine, Judge.
All right.
Yes, you're pronouncing it correctly. Thank you,
Oh,
Your
good.
Honor.
Thanks. All right. Mr. Rodriguez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Simmons, as attorney for Mr. Rodriguez, is this also your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Bolton, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Hagee, as attorney for Mr. Bolton, is this also your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Valenzuela, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Sandoval, as attorney for Ms. Valenzuela, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. The next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signatures on the back effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Peterson, is this your signature on this document also? Mr. Peterson, can you hear me, sir?
My bad. Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Thank you. You can go ahead and keep your microphone turned on. It's okay. Ms. Middleton, or excuse me, Mr. Alanis, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Glide, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Bolton, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Valenzuela, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Each of you, by signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Mr. Peterson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Alanis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Glide?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Bolton?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is that correct, Ms. Valenzuela?
That's correct, sir.
As attorney for Mr. Peterson, Mr. Brooks, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes and yes, Judge.
Same question for Ms. Middleton as attorney for Mr. Alanis.
Yes, Your Honor, on both.
Same question for Mr. O'Donnell as attorney for Mr. Glide.
Yes, Your Honor, on both.
Same question for Mr. Simmons as attorney for Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, on both, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Hagee as attorney for Mr. Bolton.
Yes, sir, on both.
Same question for Mr. Sandoval as attorney for Ms. Valenzuela.
Yes, Your Honor, in regards to both.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Sir, Your Honor.
Is that yes?
Sir, Your Honor.
I'm not understanding what he's saying.
I said, yes, sir, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Same question for Mr. Alanis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Glide.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Same question for Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Bolton.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, as attorney for Mr. Peterson, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, they have, Judge.
Same question for Ms. Middleton as attorney for Mr. Alanis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. O'Donnell as attorney for Mr. Glide.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Simmons as attorney for Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Hagee as attorney for Mr. Bolton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Sandoval as attorney for Ms. Valenzuela.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, and cause 632-657 to the charge of criminal mischief, $750 to $2,500. How do you plead, sir?
No contest, sir.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Peterson?
5 days in the Bear County Jail, $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. And we ask this be a JSAT, Judge.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Judge. And for the court's edification, he was actually in El Paso in jail for a year with the warrant active on this case.
Oh my. And there's no restitution on this case. Is that correct, State?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, cause 632-657, the court accepts your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. I said 5 days in the Bear County Jail, a $200 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Peterson?
Nothing further, Judge.
Judge, he does have an active warrant from pretrial. Would you just ask that the court note that it be withdrawn?
I'm going to put an annotation on everybody's case when it goes into my clerks to recall all those bad things I did to everybody on pretrial, okay?
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
You bet. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Mr. Alanis, cause 663-414 to charge of failure to stop and give information. How do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Alanis?
6 months deferred adjudication, $300 fine plus court costs, 36 hours community service, and a driver's safety course.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Susan, what kind of driver safety course do we want to use on stuff like this? Is Susan still with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh.
What was the basis of the offense?
Failure to stop and give information, but he had a minor accident and he didn't leave his insurance information, I'm guessing. Defense, is that about right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm not sure, Your Honor. CATS does offer 3 different driving. There's a driver safety course. I would imagine that that would probably include some information that you're looking for as far as educating the defendant on driving.
They have, okay, so the name of the course is driver safety course?
Yes.
All right, State, I assume that's the one you're looking at, is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
All right, so that's the one we'll order. CATS driver safety course. Is that okay with the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Alanis, clause 663-414, the court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 6 months, deferred adjudication probation. It says a $300 fine plus court costs, 36 hours community service, and the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety driver safety course. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Alanis?
Nothing further, Judge.
Nothing, Your Honor.
And recall bond conditions, if any. All right, good luck, Mr. Alanis. Thank you, Ms. Middleton.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Glide, and clause 652-913 to charge a failure to stop and give information. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Glide in 652-913?
12 months deferred adjudication, a $300 fine plus court costs, 40 hours community service, driver safety course, restitution, if any, to Amy Swaney, and TIC cause number 664908.
Defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
I think my paperwork said probation, Judge.
Judge, I also emailed you the spelling of that name for restitution in a separate email.
okay, go ahead and tell me over at this time what the name is again.
Amy, A-M-Y.
Yeah.
Swaney, S-W-A-N-E-Y.
S-W-A-N-C-Y, like Swansea?
E-Y, Judge.
E-Y.
E like elephant.
S-W-A-N-C-E-Y?
No C, Judge.
That's why I like your cheat sheet when it's correct.
I know. I didn't have this one ready fast enough for you.
All right. So did you send me another email with that name? I'll check that before I send this into the clerk.
Yes, Judge, I sent it to you.
And Alexis, I think the agreement was for probation, not deferred, if that's what you had said.
I did say 12. What did Nick, what was the?
It was 8 months over 12 months, $300 fine, court costs, 40 hours.
Now, Brian, if the state wants them to be nice and give you deferred, you're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, are you?
Very well, Judge. I want to make sure I'm upfront with the state.
I understand. All right. So apparently, Mr. Maru made a mean offer to Mr. Glide on this, and he would not be on deferred. However, the lovely Miss O'Connor may have modified that. Is that true, or do we have to stick with Nick's agreement?
Judge, I think Nick modified it as well.
Okay. So is it, can we be deferred? There's no problem with the state?
That's fine, Judge.
All right. And Brian, that's okay with you guys?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. All good. All right. Mr. Glide, charge 652-913. The court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt, place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. I said a $300 fine plus court costs, 40 hours community service, CATS, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety, driver safety course, restitution, if any. And to Amy, and the last name I'll look up, but it, for the record, go ahead and Alexis say what it is. The mic can put it down because he can hear you.
The spelling of Amy Swaney's last name is S-W-A-N-E-Y.
Okay, Swaney, got it. Thanks. Taking into consideration clause 664-908, which is granted, it shall be dismissed. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Glide?
Nothing further, Judge.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Glide, thank the nice prosecutor for giving you deferred because that apparently wasn't in the cards originally. Well done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez in clause 659-694.
Judge, can I interrupt real quick?
Sure, of course.
So this case was rush filed on Monday, but I'm not sure if the information has been filed, so I don't know if we can go forward with the plea at this time.
How can you find out?
I just checked right before we started and it hasn't been taken to Criminal Central filing yet. So as of right now, it hasn't been filed.
Okay, Mr. Simmons, you're doing a really good job. You stopped them from filing the information on your client. So basically, we just have to put this off to the side until if, as, and when the state files an information, then we start over. Is that kind of what we need to do?
Well, the state has sent in the information, but whoever does the filing hasn't actually filed it. So after this hearing, I can reach out to my paralegal and have it rush filed again. I've produced the information, but it just hasn't been filed. There's a whole issue in intake right now, Judge.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what the law says about it, but I think technically the information has to be filed before we can enter into any plea bargains or do any stuff on it. Does that not sound right?
Correct, Judge.
Would you agree, Mr. Simmons?
You're,
Bill, Mr. Simmons still with us?
yes, he is, but he's muted.
Oh,
There he is. Hi, Bill.
there
Yeah,
I
do you hear all that about no information being filed?
Yes, Judge, that's my understanding. I just wanted to bring to Ms. O'Connor's attention, just in case, that blood did come back on that case, though.
Right.
That was the holdup originally. Did you?
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
okay.
sent it in, but I just don't know what the holdup is. But I'll check on it right after this.
Okay, well, good. Thanks for
And I'll
catching
follow
that.
with Mr. Rodriguez. And Judge, there's going to be a weapon transfer order or a weapon transfer motion. Do you want those emailed to you directly? Do you want them filed, or how do you like to take care of those? Judge?
Is this second case 659-693, is that a UCW?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm gonna award it to you with the understanding it does not go back to the defendant, his family, or his friend, and not be destroyed. So, and that's gonna be part of, well, and I'm gonna do, the state can object to that, I'm gonna overrule them, and then everybody's on.
Okay, I was just saying, did you want a motion filed, or do we?
Send it to me.
All I need is an order that releases it to you.
Okay,
Send
Judge,
it to me. Send it to
Send
me.
you that, Patricia? Okay,
Yes, I'll.
But until all this
should've known
stuff
that.
is on the record, none of that's gonna be valid. So
Now,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Simmons, let me just let you know that the next plea date would be next Thursday. We do have something tomorrow morning, but I don't know how soon she can get it, make sure that it's filed.
How about I'll follow up with you some Tuesday or Wednesday or next week after.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. As soon as I know it's filed, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Benavides. Mr. Rodriguez, I'll be in touch with you, sir, to explain what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Okay,
Your Honor.
Mr. Bolton, and clause 654-498. To the state, do you need to make a motion on this case, I'm guessing?
Correct, Judge. The state moves to add a count 2 of obstruction, waive count 1 and the enhancement, and proceed on count 2.
No objection.
Imagine not. I'll start bringing all this law stuff into this. I gotta do a lot of writing. Okay, in cause 654-498, state of Texas versus Ryan Q. Bolton. State's making a motion to amend the information, adding count 2 alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense, that is granted. Then state moves to waive count 1 and proceed on count 2. Once again, no objection from the defense, that is granted. Therefore, Mr. Bolton, in cause 654-498, the charge of obstruction of a highway. How do you plead, sir?
No contest, Judge.
Okay, state, is that sufficient for your purposes?
Yes, Judge.
Paperwork says guilty. We're going to change the paperwork to reflect no contest. Is that okay, Mr. Hagee?
It's fine with me, Your Honor.
All right, good to go. Okay, is there an agreement for Mr. Bolton in 654-498?
14 months deferred adjudication, $650 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service probated, DWI education, victim impact panel, CAT SNP, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, $60 to DPS, a motion to forfeit the weapon, and TIC cause number 654499.
And Mr. Hagee, that's your understanding of the agreement? Obviously, we haven't talked about the weapon yet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hagee, you willing to take this weapon as opposed to destroying it with the understanding it's not to go back to the defendant, his family, or his friends?
I would be willing to do that. There is one interesting wrinkle with this weapon. This was actually my client's roommate's weapon, and I have the name of that person. Is it possible for the state to release it to that individual, not to my client?
If he can show me proof of ownership, like a copy of a form 4473, which is a dealer sales form or a bill of sale or something, then I'll give it back to him, no problem.
Okay, and that person's name is Danielle DeRowan, and it's spelled Danielle. DeRowan is spelled Derouen.
And what kind of handgun is this, do we know?
Mr. Bolton, I believe, knows what it is. I think it's just a regular pistol. Is it 9mm, Mr. Bolton?
It is. It's a Springfield.
Oh, he's got high quality taste in borrowing guns from people. Okay, I got you. All right, let's see if I get this down. Mr. Bolton, in clause 654498, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of obstruction of a highway. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 14 months deferred adjudication probation. Assess a $650 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, probating all that. DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program. Smart Start Mobile at 4 blows a day for half the term, which is 7 months, $60 reimbursement to the Texas Department of Public Safety for a blood test, I'm guessing. A motion to forfeit the weapon is denied respectfully, and the weapon is to be awarded to the original owner if the owner can prove ownership. And take into consideration clause 654499, which is granted, and it shall be dismissed, and recall all pretrial on condition. Anything further from the state of the defense of Mr. Bolton?
Nothing further, Judge.
I have one last item, Your Honor.
Sure, go ahead.
He does currently reside in Bell County. He's stationed there with the military. I don't know exactly how long he'll be there. It could be for a while. It might be a short period of time. If it does end up being a while, he would likely need to get his supervision transferred unless he can report by mail.
Are you at Fort Hood? Where is he stationed?
I'm currently at Fort Hood, Judge.
And what is your current assignment military-wise?
As far as
He's asking what job you have.
What is your Army job? What is your MOS?
I'm a 35 November Signals Intelligence Analyst.
So what now, sorry?
Signals Intelligence Analyst, 35 November.
Did you go to the war, sir?
Yes, I did, sir.
Were we winning when you left?
Of course, sir.
Good answer, sir. Thanks for your service. All right. Austin, anything else comes up, holler at me.
Judge?
Yep.
Are you gonna allow him to report by mail since we're not using the Zoom reporting?
Yep.
Thank you.
He's in the Army of the United States, the largest probationary organization on the face of the earth. He can't get away. We'll always know where he is.
I hear you. We appreciate his service.
Okay, report by mail, go. All right, thanks, Mr. Bolton. Thanks, Mr. Hagee. Y'all are out of here. Okay, Ms. Valenzuela on clause 648747. Let's see what we're dealing with here. To the charge of theft, $750, $2,500. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest, sir.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Valenzuela?
12 months deferred adjudication, $200 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, an ATSE course, a no contact order and restitution, if any, to CTWP, address 2946 Northeast Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas, 78218.
Do we know what CT Charlie Tango WP Whiskey Papa stands for?
It doesn't stand for anything, Judge. That's the actual name of the business.
Oh, okay. Defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Go ahead.
No, it is our understanding, Judge.
All right. Okay, Ms. Valenzuela on clause 648747, the court accepts your plea of no contest. to the offense of theft, $750 to $2,500. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. It says a $200 fine plus court cost, 48 hours community service, a TSE anti-theft course, no contact with, and restitution, if any, to CT, Charlie Tango, WP, Whiskey Papa, 2946 Northeast Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas, 78218. Is there any reason why she has to have contact with these people, defense, or that's not a problem? Mr. Sandoval, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge. No, Judge.
Okay. Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Valenzuela?
Further, Judge.
Good luck, Ms. Valenzuela. Thank you, Mr. Sandoval.
Take care, Your Honor. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. I've got 2 Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion pleas, and 1 other plea on Mr. Villarreal. Mr. Cox, are you ready to go forward on your MTR, and we'll get you and the probation officer out of here real quick?
Your Honor, they have not done the paperwork.
Oh, what's going on with the paperwork, Cornelia? Your microphone's off, Cornelia.
It's on the way, Judge. It's on the way.
On the way. All right. I'm going to do these pleas, and as soon as you get your paperwork here, we'll take care of you guys.
On the way to me, Daniel Baskin?
I don't know where it is. Is paperwork coming back to Pat, or where's the paperwork going from you? I assume she
It goes, Your Honor, from Mr. Cox. When he's finished, it should go to Mr. Baskin. After Mr. Baskin, it goes to you. And I can tell when it's signed by everybody.
All right. So Cornelius, is that what we're doing? You know what's going on? On who to transfer this stuff to, or email it?
I don't know whether he has it or not.
Cornelius, you got to talk to me, or we can't.
I'm going to send it right now, Judge.
All right. You know who's
Okay.
coming. All right.
Thank you.
Good. All right. This is cause number 639-434, State of Texas versus Yesenia Flores Rivero, represented by Chadwick Henderson, and cause 640-683, State of Texas versus David Quintana, represented by Mr. Tim Roundtree. And those are both Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion pleas and probation agreements. And let's go out of batting order. Cause 655-858, State of Texas versus Joe F. Villarreal, represented by Mr. Rene Vela. So at this time, I need y'all to identify your signatures on a document titled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Mr. Villarreal, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Vela, as attorney for Mr. Villarreal, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Rivero, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Or is it Mr. Rivero? I apologize. And Mr. Henderson, is this your signature as attorney for Mr. Rivero?
For Mrs. Flores, Your Honor? Yes.
Okay, Flores Rivero, what name should I use?
Flores is good, Your
All
Honor.
right, good, we're going. Thank you, sir. Mr. Quintana, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Roundtree, is this your signature on this document as attorney for Mr. Quintana?
Yes, Judge.
All right. The next document I have is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Villarreal, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Flores, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Quintana, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. By signing this document, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney. So that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Mr. Villarreal?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. or Ms. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that correct, Mr. Quintana?
Yes, Your Honor.
As attorney for Mr. Villarreal, Mr. Vela, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Henderson with regard to Ms. Flores.
Yes, sir.
Same question for Mr. Roundtree with regard to Mr. Quintana.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Villarreal, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Same question for Ms. Flores.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Quintana.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Vela, the attorney for Mr. Villarreal, the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case.
They have.
Same question for Mr. Henderson with regard to Ms. Flores
Yes, Your Honor.
case. And same question for Mr. Roundtree with regard to Mr. Quintana's case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Villarreal, on cause 655-858 to the charge of burglary of a vehicle. How do you plead, sir?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. Is there an agreement for Mr. Villarreal?
12 months deferred adjudication, $300 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, ATSE course, a no contact order, and restitution, if any, to Yolanda Cates, spelled C-A-T-E-S.
Charlie Alpha Tango Echo Sierra, Kate. Got it. And defense, Mr. Vela, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is.
Mr. Villarreal, on cause 655-858, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of burglary of a vehicle. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. It says a $300 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, ATSE, and I theft force, or you have no contact with and pay restitution, if any, to Yolanda Cates. C is in Charlie, A-T is in Tango, E-S. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Villarreal?
No, Your Honor.
And we're recalling any prior pretrial bond conditions I may have set on him. All right, good luck, Mr. Villarreal. Thank you, Mr. Vela.
Thank you.
Ms. Flores, in cause 639-434, the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Judge Christian, this is Josh Childers. Miss Flores is active duty.
Okay, so at this time, what I would recommend is that she enter a plea of no contest, which the state will go along with because she is active duty. And therefore, hopefully, we're avoiding any possible problems in the military administratively by not pleading guilty.
Acknowledge.
Because we all know how the military is and they're crafty.
Cool, Your Honor.
So is that okay with the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. Mr. Vero, I accept your plea. I hold it in abeyance. Place you on 1 year, Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1, pretrial diversion. It says again, $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee. 48 hours community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, 6 months Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day, outpatient drug treatment through a designated Veterans Treatment Court provider. No restitution in this case, correct?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. And requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court issue judge's bond. Defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. At this time, Ms. Flores, I'm looking at a document titled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney and the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, as attorney for Ms. Flores, is your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Connor, I appear to have your signature on this document as the Assistant Criminal District Attorney. Would that be accurate?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Good to go. What are you doing in the military at this time, Ms. Flores? What's your job?
I'm the operations NCOIC in my company, Your Honor.
Are you Army or Air Force or what are you?
I'm Army.
All right. Did you go to the war?
No, sir, I haven't.
All right. You didn't miss anything. Don't get excited. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Flores?
Nothing further, Judge.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Thank you, Ms. Flores. Thank you for your service. Y'all are dismissed, and I think Mr. Morrow is going to give you a call and get all this set up for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
You bet. All right, this is clause 640683, State of Texas versus David Quintana. Mr. Quintana to the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year, Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1, pretrial diversion probation. Assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education program, DWI victim impact panel, 6 months Smart Start mobile home interlock with a 4-time blow a day setting, outpatient drug treatment with either the Veterans Administration or a designated VTC provider. And once again, no restitution on this case. Is that right, State?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. So requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court, issue judge's bond. Defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. At this time, Mr. Quintana, I'm looking at a document entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney and the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the terms and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Roundtree, as attorney for Mr. Quintana, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. O'Connor, as the Assistant Criminal District Attorney handling this case, this appears to be your signature. Is that accurate?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Quintana, what'd you do in the military, sir?
An 88 Mike, sir, truck driver.
You what now? You were a what now?
88 Mike, a truck driver.
Oh, okay. Did you go to the war?
Yes, sir.
Were you in Iraq or Afghanistan or both?
Iraq.
And did you get to fire your shot in anger? Did anybody bother you?
A few times, yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for your
God
service,
bless.
sir. Hopefully
Thank
they
you.
missed. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Quintana?
Further, Judge.
No, Judge.
All right. All good. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Mr. Quintana. And the only thing I've
Okay,
got left-
Mr. Baskins has gone to you, Your Honor, to sign. And Mr. Jacob Moya, I just resent the paperwork. We now have Adobe Sign back online. And so I think they're trying to get everything filled out and signed so they can do that plea.
Okay. Okay, I just did Mr. Baskin's document. Do I have other documents to sign right now other than Mr. Baskin?
Your Honor. No, not at this point. Right now, the paperwork for Mr. Moya is in Mr. Moya's hands, and he's going to try to sign it. They had issue before.
Okay.
So Mr. Baskin is the only one that you have before you now.
Okay.
Ms. Benavides? Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. My lawyer is in the waiting room.
Okay, I do not have him on the waiting room. Yes, here he is.
Okay.
And for some reason, Dylan George. We just need the paperwork signed on you, Mr. Flores, and he needs to sign his portion first.
Yes, ma'am.
Sign your paperwork.
Hey, Pat, I'm here. I just got back from the 290th.
Okay, well, the paperwork was sent to y'all.
Let me check it out, Pat. Let me check it out. And then, is there any way that I could?
Signed, it was July 20th at 1:29 was sent.
Okay. Okay, let me double check the email.
Okay, thank you. I just sent you Mr. Baskin, Your Honor.
Okay, stand by. Okay, I've got the documents. This is cause 600-429, Theta, Texas versus Daniel E. Baskin, represented by Mr. Cornelius Cox. Mr. Baskin and Mr. Cox, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference that purports to have your signatures on it. Mr. Baskin, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cox, as attorney for Mr. Baskin, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
I neglected
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I neglected to mention representing the state is Ms. Alexis O'Connor, representing the Bear County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who our mind is still under oath. Next document I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication and the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Bass?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document also, Mr. Cox, as attorney for Mr. Bass?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cox, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion or first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Would that be accurate?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Mr. Baskin, in cause 600-429 on the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Would that be true, Mr. Cox?
True.
Let's say true with an explanation. Would that be okay for everybody?
Yes, that's fine.
They have an explanation. All right. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Baskin's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Baskin has performed very poorly on probation in that he only ever reported twice. We last saw him in court on February the 8th of 2019. He has paid $771 towards his fees. He has a balance of $150, and he did complete 16 hours of community service. We have no record of enrollment or completion of the Drug Offender Education Program or the Community Alliance Traffic for Safety New Interventions Program. This is his first violation report, first motion to revoke. He has a prior arrest for assault, bodily injury, married, and his officer is recommending that his probation be revoked. In this case, did expire August 10th, 2019.
Mr. Cox, what are you requesting?
Well, I have to confirm with the state judge. We're asking the court to judgment satisfy my client. It was basically he had maybe a gram or two of marijuana, and he spent a couple of days in jail when he was arrested. Initially, when he was arrested on MTR, his position at this point is that he wants to move on with his life, Judge, and we think that based on it being just a couple grams of marijuana, which is state, they don't even prosecute these cases anymore. We're just asking the court to JSAT him.
Okay, is there any actual valid reason why Mr. Baskin stopped reporting? Was he having some sort of problem in his life at the time or something? This isn't obviously the most serious offense that we deal with every day.
So here's my drug offender proof right here.
Okay.
I went to the class. I did it. I went to the class. I did my community service. I did everything I was asked. I simply broke my probation because I moved out of state. But I did everything I was asked. I peed negative for marijuana on your analysis.
Did you understand that you needed permission to move out of state?
Yes, sir. I wrote you a 3-page letter. I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Did you get my letter? I don't know.
I'm sure I did, but I get a lot of letters. I apologize, sir. This is a long time.
Yeah, I have a copy over here. I wrote you a 3-page letter asking you to end my probation because I had moved out of state.
I got a plan that I think will make everybody happy. We'll see. State recommendation.
Revoke and JSAT, Judge.
Mr. Baskin, in cause 600-429, the court accepts your plea of truth and explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces. And Mr. Baskin, you live in San Antonio now, is that correct?
No, sir. I moved. The only reason we moved back to Texas is because my wife became a grandmother.
So right now, well, congratulations. Right now, where are you?
I'm in Corpus Christi. I started a swimming pool business May 1st of last year. I run a very successful swimming pool service business out here in the country. I work for a lot of large landowners.
Okay.
Money that goes way, way, way back. So I have a successful swimming pool business here in Corpus.
Hang on, let me do some more ciphering here. You're throwing monkey wrench into my plan. Let's see.
I'm a property owner in Nueces County.
Okay. All right. Once again, I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. Assess a $2,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. Your report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on August the 19th. 2021. Hang on, let me finish. However, if you pay in full the $150 you owe, and I think there's a $2 processing fee, so it's going to be a total of $152 to the Bexar County Probation Department before that time, I will waive your jail sentence. You'll have to talk to Mr. Cox and get somebody here in San Antonio to do that, or get some sort of address from Susan before this is over where you can mail the money. Is that okay with you, Mr. Cox?
That sounds fair, Judge.
All right. Okay with you, Mr. Baskin?
Yes, sir.
It's going to cost you $152 and you can have your life back.
It's already cost me over $2,000.
Well, I'm sorry. That's money well spent. You're not going to jail. Look at the positive side.
I already spent 2 nights in jail over a joint.
I can't carry the weight of the world on my shoulder, but I wish you well, sir, okay?
Thank you.
All right, anything further from the state of the
Okay,
defense?
well, Judge, if I may, before will the probation, will they provide him a address if he wants to just mail the money order to him or whatever? Or if you want me to do that, that's fine.
Ask Susan. Susan, can you tell us how we can do this easily?
Yes, you can mail it to 207 North Comal, Comal, San Antonio, 78207. Or if you just want to drive over there real quick, it's right across the street from the jail. It's a 4-story building. Just go in there. They'll take cash, cashier's check, money orders.
I'm in Corpus.
Okay.
Okay.
I bet you could send it to your high-speed low drag lawyer and he'd take care of it for you. That's what I think.
Susan,
okay.
how does he make out the money order or cashier check to?
I was getting there.
Regarding case number
Yep, your case number is going to be 600
429.
429, and then you're also going to need your SID number on there.
Okay,
And
I
your
have that.
SID number is 425339.
Okay, I have that.
Okay, and then if you're going to get a cashier's check or something like that, you're going to want to make it out to I'll give you the initials: B as in bear, C as in county, C as in community, S is in supervisions, D is in department, BCCSCD.
And I can just write BCCSD on the check.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll write a personal check.
No, they don't take personal checks. It's
No
got to be certified funds.
Okay.
Let me see. They may be willing to take a credit card. You can call the main number and ask to speak to the payment center, and their phone number is 210-335-7200.
Okay.
And once you do get that payment made, if you make it online or over the phone, then you need to let Mr. Cox know so that he can contact me. Once I verify that the monies have been paid, I will notify the judge, and the judge will remove that jail sanction.
Thank you.
Okay? Any
Okay.
questions?
All right.
Cox, anything?
Thank you. No problem. No questions, no problem. And Mr. Baskin, he has my number. You do it, let me know. And if you need anything else from Sebastian, just call me and I'll help you facilitate it, okay?
Yes, I do have your office number.
Okay. All right, that'll work. All right. Thank you, Judge.
You bet. Y'all take care.
All right.
Thank you.
How do I get out of here? Okay.
Judge, do you need me anymore, or may I be dismissed?
Nope, you're cut loose. Thanks for all your help.
Thank you. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Your Honor, I'm still here. We're going to finish filling out some of these documents, okay?
I just signed it and sent it to Pat, and she'll send it back after y'all. I think y'all have already signed it, if I were guessing. I don't know.
I got to get him to sign it.
No, Your Honor, I just sent the paperwork for Mr. Moya to you. So that you.
Let me do some checking here.
And Mrs. Gross, how much was that amount? This is Daniel Baskin.
Yes, the full amount for you is going to be $150, and then there's a $2 processing fee.
Okay, 152. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep. I would call that number before you do anything, though, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now.
All right.
Okay, are we ready to proceed on Jacob Moya?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Moya, can we see you on video, sir?
Mr. O'Donnell, do you want me to do restitution, if any, or do you want me to do the number?
We could do both with an estimate. That's what the estimate is.
That's
Okay.
And we got Mr. Moya. Okay. This is cause 660-412, State of Texas versus Jacob Moya. And let me look at my documents here real quick. And Mr. O'Donnell, are you the attorney on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Fair enough. And in cause 660-412, Mr. Moya is represented by Mr. Brian O'Donnell. Mr. Moya and Mr. O'Donnell, I'm first looking at a document titled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that purports to have both your signatures on it. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Moya?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. O'Donnell, as attorney for Mr. Moya, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Moya, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on the back of this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. O'Donnell, as attorney for Mr. Moya, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And then your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor, to both.
Mr. Moya, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. O'Donnell, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Moya, to the charge of burglary of a vehicle, second offense. How do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
I think
no contest.
Oh, no contest. I'm sorry. No contest.
not a problem, sir, but I like your instincts. That's a good instinct to have. All right. Court accepts the plea of no contest from Mr. Moya to the charge of burglary of a vehicle, second offense. Is there an agreement for Mr. Moya?
1/1, $200 fine plus court costs, 36 hours community service, an ATSE course, regular UAs, restitution in the amount of $326 to Emmanuel Hernandez, and TIC cause number 660-414.
And is that another auto burglary? I'm guessing. Oh, that's a figured ID. Okay, I see what it is.
Yes, Judge.
Oh, I got you.
Sir, I was gonna ask, cause I do have two more cases or one more case pending in Laredo County. So when I do get called to go for those cases, how would I go about leaving Bexar County, or who would I have to talk to?
You just contact your probation officer and let her know what you'd like to do, and I give you permission to do it. Not a problem.
Okay, yes, sir.
We want you to be street legal. We want you to clean up all these little problems that you got, okay? So we're
Yes,
on the way to doing that. All right, state and defense, pay attention when I say this, make sure I get this right. Mr. Moya, on cause 660-412, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of burglary of vehicle, second offense. I find you guilty. It says 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $200 fine plus court cost, 36 hours of community service, ATSE anti-theft program, regular UAs, restitution in the amount that we think at this time is $326, but that could change. Is that correct, Mr. O'Donnell?
I believe that is going to be the amount, but I suppose it could change. I told my client he's entitled to a restitution hearing if
Absolutely.
he doesn't agree.
So at this time, I'm gonna order $326. If state and defense, if that changes for some reason, just let us know. We'll have a restitution hearing and see if it's reasonable to change it or not. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's on Mr. Moya. So $326 payable to Emmanuel Hernandez at 109 Kingsman, Converse, Texas, 78109. And we're taking into consideration clause 660414, which is granted, and it shall be dismissed. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Moya?
Nothing further, Judge.
Your Honor, I would ask if the court would consider giving my client permission to travel. He may get a surprise and not have time to contact probation.
Where do we want to travel and why?
He has cases in, he says Laredo County. I'm assuming he means Webb County.
Oh, no, no. I mean, you mean to go to his court hearings and whatnot? Is that
Yes,
all
sir.
you're asking? Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want him to ask for permission each time he wants to leave the county for any reason, but obviously I'm going to grant that. We just need to know who, what, when, where, why about what's going on.
Very well, Judge.
So no problem whatsoever. Just let your probation officer, Mr. Moya, know, and we'll get that squared away. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Right now, do you know what dates you need to go to Laredo?
It's actually Laredo and Cotulla, Texas. But as of right now, like I said, it could be whenever because I'm just waiting for a court date.
Do you have attorneys on those cases?
I'm not aware if I have an attorney. Like I said, they do have all of my information. I do call them. They only call me just to keep in contact with me, and that's it. They don't call me to go down there. But like I said, since all the courts are opening up and they've been letting me know that the courts are opening up, that could change at any time, that a court date could open up for me and that they would need me to go down there and talk to my lawyer or just whatever's going on.
And what kind of cases do we think you have down there? Do they tell you?
In Laredo County, in Webb County, it would be family violence, assault, and I'm assuming the first degree. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I wasn't in that county for literally more than 24 hours. This was last year. And in Cotulla County, it was last year, theft of a vehicle. And those are still ones that I still have to talk to lawyers.
Okay. Well, you're high profile with them, so stay squeaky clean, and I'm sure your attorneys can tell you the same thing. But whenever you need to go somewhere for a legal reason, I'm certainly going to let you go. You just got to let us know in advance, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything further, Brian?
Judge, I would ask if my client needs a baseline test because of the regular drug testing, if that would be appropriate, Judge.
Sure. Mr. Moya, if I test you on your analysis test today, you're going to be positive for marijuana?
Oh, no, not for sir. I don't do marijuana. No, sir.
You're going to be positive for anything else creative?
It's probably not, sir.
All right. Well, what your attorney's trying to do is get you a grace period so that if you were positive today, but you're not going to be doing this anymore, then you're not going to get on trouble during probation. I think, Brian, is that kind of where you're going?
That's exactly right. Correct, Judge.
Okay. So let's go ahead and give him a UA. Next week would be fine. And that'll give us a baseline on what's going on. And hopefully it'll be clean and we can all move on. Would that be all right?
Judge, you'll need to write that as a condition of probation. And Mr. Moya, probation will be reaching out to you either via email, text, or telephone within the next 48 hours, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to go through an orientation and sign some paperwork. If you do not hear from them by like Monday at noon, then you need to call them. So write down this phone number, please. 210-335.
Give me 1 second. Yeah. In the middle. Okay, I have the pin.
Okay, 210-335-7446.
7446.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be your responsibility to make sure that you get your initial orientation done and your conditions signed. Because if you fail to do that, then the judge is going to issue a warrant for your arrest and you're going to go back to jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Good luck, Mr. Moya. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe excused.
You betcha.
Thank you.
We're picking up lawyers. We got Jonathan Perez, we got Dylan, George. Where are we getting all these lawyers from?
Well, we're waiting for Mr. Flores to sign his paperwork. And Mr. George, I don't know whether he needs to speak to you, Your Honor.
Dylan, are you with us today?
Yes, Your Honor. Had a understood I was had an add-on from a couple days ago. Mr. Vidalis.
Vidales? I don't remember Mr.
Let me get the
Mr. George. Let me look at my book and see if I even had him on.
Arturo Vidalis, 652-686, reset from July
Yeah,
13th.
let me see. Was he scheduled and did not make it? Because I'm going back to my others and I don't see him set.
Oh, I might actually be early on this one.
Okay, maybe, hold on, let me see if he is for next week.
Yeah, he's July. I don't know why I'm just reading it this way, but yeah, July 27th. I'm just early.
Okay, July 27th for the regular hearing.
Yeah.
That's what it
Right.
is. Okay, all righty,
Right. Sorry
that's
about
okay,
that.
Mr. George.
Thanks.
We're all kind of loony right now.
Not sure why I got that messed up. Okay. I'm
That's
good.
okay.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pat. All right, Your Honor, I think we just finished up the data sheet and got that submitted and turned in for Mr. Flores, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, you need to sign it. It has gone to you, so it should be.
I just signed it.
All right. All right.
All right.
It has not hit my email. As soon as it has, Your Honor, I will give that to you. Okay, Your Honor. I just sent it to you, Your Honor.
Okay. Got it. I think. Yeah, I got it. Okay, everybody on State of Texas versus David Flores.
Yes, we're ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
Alexa. There you go.
Cause number 639-392, State of Texas versus David Flores. Mr. Flores and Mr. Perez, I am looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have both your signatures on it. In fact, Mr. Flores, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Perez, as attorney for Mr. Flores, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next document I'm looking at, Mr. Flores, is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. It purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney. So in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Flores, excuse me, Mr. Perez, as attorney for Mr. Flores, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor, we have, and I believe so.
Thank you. Mr. Flores, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Perez, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, they have.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just to make the court aware, there has been a offer that's been made on this, but after discussing with Mr. Flores, Judge, we'd like to plead open to the court and change, I guess, the check on the straight probation to deferred.
Okay. Let me back up. My understanding is that there's an original plea bargain where the state's going to waive the greater than 1.5 enhancement, and that Mr. Flores is going to plead to a DWI first. Is that correct, state?
Correct, Judge.
And the original agreement or proposed agreement did not have deferred in it. Is that correct, state?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. Well, obviously the defense would like to have deferred. Would the state like to give them deferred?
No, Judge, the BAC was 0.304.
Okay, so defense, you still want to go forward an open plea to the court without a plea bargain?
Yes, Your Honor. We have our reasons, Judge.
Okay, here's the problem that I foresee.
Okay.
He's going to have to plead to DWI with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15 because the state's not waiving the enhancement.
Yes.
And he's not eligible for deferred if you do that, is my understanding of how that works.
I got you, Judge.
That may or may not throw a monkey wrench into your content.
I believe so, Judge. Yes. Yes. Then we'll just go ahead and go on the straight probation, Your Honor. I know it's just it's a case that my client wishes to get past him.
Okay, so do you want to accept the plea bargain or do you want to go open to the court?
Yes, we'll accept it, Judge. That's fine.
All right. Okay with you, state?
Yes, Judge.
All right, here we go. So, Mr. Flores, in clause 639-392, I'm sorry. State, you got a motion first.
Yes, Judge, the state moves to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
Good afternoon, office.
David, can you mute yourself?
Okay, state's motion to waive the greater than 0.15 enhancement. No objection from the defense is granted. Therefore, Mr. Flores is charged of driving while intoxicated. First offense. How do you plead, sir?
Oh, no contest, Your Honor. Sorry.
And we're good. Paperwork says no contest. Is there an agreement for Mr. Flores, please?
6/12, $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service probated, $60 to DPS, DWI education, victim impact panel, CATSNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
And Mr. Perez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That's our understanding, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Flores, in clause 639-392, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated. First offense. I find you guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, probating all that, $60. It's not really restitution. Payable to the Texas Department of Public Safety for reimbursement for the blood test, I'm guessing. DWI Education Course, DWI Victim Impact Panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Outpatient Drug, and Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock for 6 months, and waive all those probably bad things I did to him on pretrial. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Flores?
Nothing further, Judge.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Flores has already completed the DWI education program, and we'll be able to provide this to the probation, Your Honor.
He gets credit for anything he's already done, no problem.
Yes, sir. DWI and DWI Victim Impact Panel. I know he's been on probably Smart Start for maybe 2 months, and he understands he's going to be on for half the term, Judge. And I guess the community service was probated. I would see if maybe anything else could be probated, Your Honor. Mr. Flores has an extensive military history, which I think maybe he could tell the court that. I don't want to steal his thunder or anything like that. But this is a case that we're trying to get past this, Judge. And after conferring with my client, he decided to not enter the VTC program and just wishes to put this behind him. He's already 55 years old, Judge. And I guess that's all that I really got for the court.
Hey, Mr. Flores, what'd you do in the military, sir?
Yes, sir. I was in the infantry. I was drill instructor and recruited for the Army.
You go to any wars along the way?
Yes, sir. Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom. We were the unit, including me, who found Saddam Hussein in his spider web box.
And what unit was that?
It was 4th ID.
4th ID. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so were you right there when they got him out of the hole?
I wasn't right there, but I was back in security areas.
All right. Well, thanks for your service, sir.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. So we probated his community service hours based on his military service, as we do for everybody. The way it works, Jonathan, is when y'all make a plea bargain, I don't really get involved in the plea bargain process. And if the state wants to make an exception every once in a while and say I can work on a fine, but they've given you the minimum fine I would give anybody on a DWI anyway. So I apologize it's that way, but it's that way.
No problem. Thank you, sir. That's good to address it.
Thank Mr. Flores for his very extensive service.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
And every war he went to, he won. So I mean, that's a lot better than my record.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your service, sir. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Flores?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, y'all are out of here.
All right,
probation
Mr. Flores,
doctor.
same thing.
Okay.
Probation will reach out to you within the next 48 hours, but if you don't hear from them by like Monday afternoon, then call them on Tuesday and inquire about your orientation. The phone number to call is 210. Your attorney will write this down too. 335-7446. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's on you to make sure that paperwork gets signed, because if not, you're going to be right back here via the pokey. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you and thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.